Ranil Wickremesinghe provides a statement at the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the April 21st attacks. 3 underworld gang members arrested. Arrested officers attached to the Narcotics Bureau remanded again.
Hello there, very good afternoon. You're watching Lunchtime News on TV1. Those were the headlines. Now news in detail. The leader of the United National Party, Ranil Wickremesinghe, arrived at the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the April 21st attacks today.
He was summoned to the commission to record a statement regarding the April 21st attacks. He arrived at the police unit of the commission at 10 a.m. The General Secretary of the United National Party, Akhila Viraj Karyawasam, also arrived at the commission today. On previous occasions, former President Maithripala Sirisena, former ministers and members of the security forces were summoned to the commission.
The UNP electorate organizer of the Dorangaslanda, Dr. Mangala Amarasinghe, spoke about the party leadership.
Ranil Wickremesinghe is trying to bring in his puppets to the leadership of the United National Party. Along with the puppets of the working committee, they have now destroyed the UNP and the politics in the country. The people who were implicated in the bond scam are now fighting to become the leader. They say various names. They say Akhila Viraj, or Ravi Karunanayaka, or Vajirabe Wardana.
Leader of the Samagi Jana Balavegya, Sajid Premadasa, attended an event to thank his supporters yesterday.
The event was held in Megoda Kolonnava yesterday.
මේරටේ ජනතාව බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා ඉතාමත්ම ඉක්මනින්.
Citizens of the country are hoping that the new government will fulfill the services as promised. The government is ready to implement the vistas of prosperity and splendor vision. You all know that if we came into power, we would have reinitiated the Samurdhi and Janasavya program in a short time to eradicate poverty in the country. We are waiting until the government gives the monthly bag of rations to the people as promised.
මාසික ආහාර මල්ල ලබා දෙනක.
මේ මෙගොඩ කොළොන්නාව හැමදාම පාවිච්චි කරේ එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂ කඳවුරේ.
People in the Megoda Kolonnava area always voted for the UNP. Politicians only come to this area during the election to get the votes and then they go away. After that, they don't show up. They do not do any work. During the last 5 years, I have taken the initiative to construct 47 roads. This is only in this division. I initiated the construction of the Kittampalua Canal, spending over 2 billion to protect you from the floods. Next, I was waiting for Sajid Premadasa to become the Prime Minister. If so, I was hoping to construct a school where children are taught in all 3 languages. Meanwhile, leader of the opposition, Sajid Premadasa, joined a party meeting held in Vadullavatta, Orugadawatta.
State Minister Kanaka Herath states that the 19th Amendment to the Constitution will be replaced by a new amendment before the 2021 budget is presented to the Parliament. The State Minister made this comment while attending a public meeting held in Kegol yesterday. We hope to remove the 19th Amendment before presenting the 2021 budget and to bring in a favourable amendment or a new constitution quickly. Everyone knows how the 19th Amendment in 2015 created the constitutional crisis. Also, how the commissions that claim to be independent were used to take political revenge during the last 5 years. The 19th Amendment is responsible for the international interventions made during the past years. This amendment was used to reduce the President's powers and to sign agreements and sell our resources. We hope to repeal the 19th Amendment in the first place. These were the views expressed by the Minister of Sports Namal Rajapaksa in a public gathering held at Sabugasyaya in Hambantota.
Good governance government was not able to construct anything, let alone construct a road or a small bridge. At present, work is underway to construct 202 kilometers of roads in the Hambantota district. This is short term. Under the 1000 kilometers project, the President and the Prime Minister are expecting to construct roads in the villages. When was the Umaga project due? They stopped it when the government changed. If the government that was in power had worked, they could have provided water to the people of Middenia.
The President and the Prime Minister have taken measures to construct 1,000 national schools. Also, we have commenced a special program to construct the school playgrounds. So, we will establish all the facilities for sports in schools. We will start the process of establishing playgrounds for schools in the villages.
3 suspects were arrested for engaging in heroin and ice racketeering in Etukala, Negombo yesterday. Police said 21 grams of heroin, 27 grams of ice, cash for 36,000 rupees and several equipments were taken to their custody from the suspects' possession. Following are details of some of the raids conducted by the police.
3 suspects were arrested for the alleged possession of the narcotic substance ice in Bambalapitiya. Police said 481 grams of ice were taken into police custody. An underworld gang member was arrested in connection to a heroin racket in the Maligawatta area in Maligawatta. Police said the arrested individual, Mohammad Farus, alias Pichafais, is a close associate of underworld leaders Kanjipani Imran and Maligawatta Riswan. Meanwhile, another suspect was arrested involved in heroin racketing along with a luxury SUV. Police said the arrested suspect is a son of Kuduruwan and he is a close associate of underworld member Demadagoda Chaminda.
The third day of the 5th edition of the Gum at the Door-to-Door initiative, together with University of Peradeniya, commenced today.
The Gum at the Door-to-Door program, together with University of Peradeniya, is currently underway, covering all the districts in the country. The teams of Gum at the today set their journeys to areas in the Jaffna, Martale and Kalathura districts in search of issues faced by the people.
Today is day 3 of the 5th phase of the Gum at the Door-to-Door initiative. My team and I are currently at the Madakumara village in the Rathura Divisional Secretariat in the Martale district. Now, the main issue these people face is that they don't have access to a main road which leads to Dikkumara, which is about a shortcut of 3 kilometers. So these residents have to use a longer route which is 6 kilometers. Due to the lack of access to a main proper road, residents in this area are severely inconvenienced due to this, especially school children and older people residing in this area. So do stay tuned in Newsfirst because we will bring you the latest updates. I am Ruhaza Irfan for the Newsfirst team.
Another Gum at the team is expected to travel to areas in Martale district in search of unresolved issues faced by the people. Meanwhile, the Gum at the Door-to-Door teams travel to rural areas in the Jaffna district. They are currently touring the Ketpeli village attached to the Thenmarachi Chavakachere Divisional Secretariat.
Today marks the third day of the Gum at the Door-to-Door initiative together with the University of Peradeniya, and my team, which is Team A led by Lennington Leoraj, travelled across the Jaffna district in the past 2 days, and we identified the problems that the people of this district face. Now, among them, lack of electricity, lack of access to clean drinking water and unemployment stand out. I'm Senitha Senanayaka reporting from Jaffna.
The team Gum at the also launched the Gum at the Savia with the farmers in Ketpeli. Thereafter, the Gum at the teams will travel the villages around the area to register public issues together with the University of Peradeniya. The Gum at the teams have travelled deep into the Ketpeli village with the villagers on their motorbikes, since you cannot travel on the roads in a bigger vehicle. Katuangoda village is situated 8 kilometers from the northern Kalathura. A group of politicians have dug up 15 acres of land to excavate clay. As a result, the villagers are facing a water crisis. 100 houses are without water. The villagers established the Gum at the Savia to find lasting solutions to resolve their issues.
The 13 officers attached to the Police Narcotics Bureau arrested on drug trafficking charges were further remanded until the 14th of September by Colombo Chief Magistrate Lanka Jayaratna today. The Criminal Investigations Department was ordered by the Chief Magistrate to report facts to court if there are any other senior ranked officers at Sri Lanka Police involved in drug trafficking and to ensure they are barred from travelling overseas. The Chief Magistrate made the order after considering the facts presented by Deputy Solicitor General Dilip Piris, who claimed there are more officers connected to the drug trafficking operation.